What's up, my people? Welcome back to Vertical Football. Welcome back to another episode of the Manchester United Fans Corner. Guys, as usual on Monday, we are always here to bring you analysis on Manchester United. So, guys, we've played 5 matches this season in the Premier League, 6 matches in all, 5 matches in the Premier League. That's Arsenal, Fulham, Burnley, Manchester City, and Chelsea. And I have this popular saying for me, this is my own saying, that I cannot access a team until I see them play 5 matches in the season. And so Manchester United have played 5 Premier League matches. And I felt it would just be nice to analyze the team after that 5 matches and to see where we are doing well, where we're not doing well, to analyze the problems we are facing and to offer solutions, because that's what we do on this podcast. It's not just talk about the problems, but to try and think about solutions. So guys, what we'll be doing is 5 games have been played already, and I'll be looking at 5 areas of Manchester United. And first one is the goalkeeper, looking at the goalkeeping situation of Manchester United, looking at the defense of Manchester United, the defense and the wing back situation. Thirdly, looking at the midfield of Man United. Then, fourthly, looking at the strikers situation at Manchester United. And lastly, I'll be looking at the manager. So these are the 5 things: the goalkeeper, the defense, the midfield, the attack, and the coach, Ruben Amorim. So guys, let's jump right into it and enjoy ourselves. The first thing I want to say is the goalkeeper situation. I feel there is clearly a little improvement in that department. I think clearly we made one of the best decisions we could make of making Onana leave the club. I feel it was a smart decision. It was, in my opinion, a quick decision. It's a decision that you just have to make. It doesn't even matter about who comes to replace him. I think we've analyzed it many times that he wasn't just at the level that a Manchester United goalkeeper needs to be. And we've given the opportunity to his number 2, which is Alta Bayindel. And I feel Bayindel has just played 5 matches this season. That's the 5 Premier League games. And for me, I've always said, and I've been saying it many times, even on air and off air, that I give this guy 10 games. And let's say, I believe if you give a goalkeeper 10 games, the confidence improves. And I think I really saw that in the last game against Chelsea, even though, yes, there were a lot of chances against him. But I saw that this guy, as the game goes on, as the season goes on, he is expected that although he's a decent goalkeeper, it's an average goalkeeper, but it's expected that the confidence, even as the team wins, his confidence increases and he plays well. So, but I think that is the positive side of having Bayindel in goal, in terms of, the confidence will increase as time goes on. I'm looking to do an analysis of Bayindel after 10 games in the Premier League. Let me evaluate Bayindel before the season and Bayindel after 10 games. I want to do the analysis to see where actually he has improved in his game. But I think, first of all, on the positive, I feel Bayindel shows us, and he has showed us right from the beginning, that when it comes to playing in Old Trafford, when it comes to playing for Manchester United, he tends to show more of his ball playing abilities better than Andre Onana. In terms of Bayindel's passes, he has one of those 2 of those passes that you say, wow, this guy really is good on the ball. This guy really can do it. But I feel in recent times, we begin to see that, I don't know if it's a coach's instruction. I feel that sometimes the turnovers are becoming much in his game. Yes, in terms of sometimes when he's giving the ball, I know pressure. I know the team is not confident yet. And that's why I said we can only analyze him 10 matches. If after he has kept for 10 matches in the Premier League, which he has just done half now. But I feel the turnovers were much. Even against Chelsea, the turnovers were much. I felt, even though you want to play it long, let's play it sometimes to where we can actually gain control. So I think sometimes they'll just play it long back to Chelsea. And I saw that also a game against Manchester City. So, but I feel, I want to believe it's a situation of confidence for him. But I feel that it's a place he has to improve upon. Yes, you might want to play it long, but play it long to where we can actually get use of it. And I like the fact that, the penalty against Chelsea, it was this long ball to Sesko, then they drop to Mbeumo that caused that situation for the penalty. But I feel we can benefit more from his long ball. I think for me, the way I look at him, I know clearly he's better on the long balls. in long balls or balls that go far than the short passes, right? And I feel even if the long balls are your strength, played in such a way where it benefits the team more. I feel the turnovers are becoming much, and it's just important that we analyze that and say he has to improve on that. So I feel the goalkeeper situation with Lamens, I feel I don't want to disturb Lamens. This is a boy coming from Royal Antwerp. This is a boy that I hear a lot of United fans say let's use Lamens, but I think we also have to be patient with him to understand the leap to take from coming from a league like the Belgian league to the Premier League. The levels are different. I know, yes, the goalkeeper, and basically it's just meant to catch the ball, punch the ball. Yeah, I know that. But when I say the levels are different in terms of the demands, the Premier League, the adaptation to each opponent in terms of his physique, how to deal with crosses, how to deal, how to come out, punch, what to do in different situations in different teams. And I feel I don't want to shatter his confidence right now. And if even though you look at the fact of, for example, David De Gea, when he came to Manchester United, at a point in time, there was a strategy used by Sir Alex Ferguson to ease De Gea in. After some errors he had in the first instance, in terms of easing him in by using Andres Lindegaard. If you remember, for my United fans that have been watching for so long, you saw that gradual adaptation before De Gea became the De Gea we all praise. So I understand that, and that was a De Gea that was playing for Atletico Madrid. That was a De Gea that was playing for one of the top 5 leagues in the world at that moment, and he still had to struggle and adapt to Man United. And now talking about a goalkeeper that's coming from Royal Antwerp to Manchester United. That gap is much. And I think it would have been a good situation if we were still in the Carabao Cup, or if we were, maybe the FA Cup time comes, you can have those games. But for now, I feel just keep training, keep studying, keep gymming, keep improving your all-round ability. You understand? The goalkeeper coach should take him through the necessary routines. And I feel maybe when the team becomes more stabilized, then maybe he can have one of those smaller games to just, to play and let Bayinda rest. But I think for the moment, for me, I would say in the foreseeable future, for the next 5-10 Premier League matches, I just want to see Bayinda, really. I just want to see Bayinda. And I hope Bayinda is not injured. I hope everything is natural. I hope Lamen's introduction is natural, really, because I want that guy to start on the very good foot, and I want him to succeed at this fantastic club. So, guys, let's go to the defender situation. I feel I've analyzed the defender situation many times on the podcast, but I think it's good to also say some things that there are obvious deficiencies in our play. And I think there are 2 major deficiencies that are mostly linked, and I feel it's absurd. I feel that, first of all, we concede a lot. I know, yes, we concede a lot. That's quite clear. But I think it's also very important to say that we concede very much, especially from the gap between the left wing back and the left center back. I have said that area really is a big problem for Manchester United. Yeah, I know that, yes, to provide solution to that, we can just say, let's wait till Lisandro Martinez comes back. But I feel, why can we find a solution before Martinez comes back? Because Martinez, even though he's back, will not be rushed into starting 11 like that. You get? I think we still have to let him play little much minutes. Maybe with the under something, depending on how they want to go about his recuperation. Maybe with the under something before it comes to, because of you can't just throw him in. You have to give him all the perfect conditions to come to top fitness, right? But we have to find a solution to that area. And the second thing is the fact that we always look lost when there's a cross in, especially a cross in into our box 6 or box 18. In terms of our defenders don't know who to mark and what to mark. And sometimes they might be well positioned, but sometimes they are caught flat-footed and they don't jump. Like you see the Chalobah's goal against Man United, right? I know, yes, it was in between Yoru, and I don't want to criticize anybody, but it was in between Yoru and Ahmad. But the fact is that we didn't track his run well. And we don't contend with these guys. We don't jump and contend with them. And I feel these are the 2 major issues I'm seeing in that defense. 2 major. There are many major issues, but these are the 2. There are many issues, but these are the 2 major ones I'm seeing. In the sense of the space between the left wing back and the left center back, and then the ability that people cross the ball and we don't seem to react. Sometimes, as I said, sometimes when they cross the ball, like against Manchester City, sometimes our defenders are too deep. Sometimes our defenders are too static. Sometimes we don't react in the right way in our own box. I've analyzed it many times, but I think it's very important to call it out. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, we have to solve this. And if I was the manager, what would I do? What solutions should I advise Ruben Amorim? First of all, I feel first of all, we have to look at finding a way to play without Luke Shaw. Yes, I think we have to look at that, because I feel partly Luke Shaw has some blame there, depending on his movement. Because sometimes when you see the game, you see that sometimes it's Matthias Delit that covers. Euro also, Matthias Delit covers, and then Euro also is out of his natural position as a right center back, and then there are a lot of spaces. So I feel we have to find a solution to Luke Shaw. And also I believe that Lenny Euro's is showing one deficiency that is clear. We have to analyze it. Lenny Euro is showing one deficiency that is clear. I said it last season, and I'm seeing it clearly this season, is the fact that he doesn't know how to deal with crosses. It's quite clear. Lenny Euro doesn't know how to deal with crosses. And sometimes I feel there's that lapse in concentration when a cross comes. He doesn't respond. Most times, Lenny Euro is flat-footed. Most times, defenders walk on his blind side to score us. I'm not blaming him. He's a young center back, but we have to analyze what we see. And I feel we have to work on that. So what are my solutions to these two major defensive issues that I have highlighted? I think first of all, I know Eddie Nevin is a young and sometimes immature, or most times immature defender, but I feel sometimes that Eddie Nevin is physical. Yes, I think it's clear. Physical. He has the pace to cover up that space, to also defend to the byline, and I feel we need to give him minutes. We need to give him minutes. I think I think even looking at the next two games that we have, I feel he needs to have those minutes. Yes, I know it wasn't it against Grimsby, but the fact is that almost all our players, if not all our players, were not it against Grimsby, and I feel we need to get that boy. At least that guy is more physical in terms of the way he defends. Is more pacey. The guy definitely looks to be a much more good defender than Luke Shaw in that area. Yeah, I know Luke Shaw experience is there. You cannot deny the fact that he was fantastic. He was okay against Chelsea, but the fact is that area is leaking, and I feel one of the solutions there is to use Eddie Nevin. Another solution which I do not particularly like, but I feel is something that could also work because he has been used there before, is to use Lenny Euro there to play that weak side, because I think he on the build up he could also be decent. Yes, I know that position you always want a left-footed left center back, but the fact is the two left-footed center backs we have, there are question marks there, and if you must play Lenny Euro, I feel you just put him at that left center back, pending the time that we get the likes of Martinez back to full fitness, and Martinez can take his position. But I feel that's an area we need to look at big time. That area, and the kind of, we need physical defending there, because a lot of crosses are coming from there. Yeah. So I think, even though that's not all, I know I can talk about Fulham. A goal came there. A goal came from the right hand side against Fulham. A goal came from the right hand side against Manchester City in terms of Doku to Alan. So I know, yes, that there are leakages there in your defense, but I feel teams tend to create more chances from that area. They tend to create more chances from that area, and I think it's just something we have to work on. And then let me talk about the second solution to the defensive. I feel Harry Maguire should be introduced back into the starting 11. I really feel that even though before I do not like the idea, but desperate time calls for desperate measure. I feel I didn't like the idea of using Delit and Maguire together. I just felt that the way the system should work is that you should have progressive left-footed, right-footed, progressive left centre back and right centre back. But I know Delit can also be progressive. We saw that against Chelsea when he was the right centre back. So I'm like, desperate time comes for this desperate measure. And also because of the fact that Maguire is one of the best defensive, he has one of the best defensive headers in our team in terms of how the ability to deal with crosses is like really the best. Really, after him, I think it's Lenny Yoro, Matthias Delete. Sorry. So I feel I want to use two of them. I don't want situations where people are crossing the ball. People are yeah. I know Maguire also had deficiency in terms of the cutbacks might also be a problem. How does he react to cutbacks and anything? But Maguire has been decent this season in the games where he has been brought on. He has been decent, and I feel for me that performance warrants that he be part of the starting level moving forward. So for me, if I was to start the next games going forward, having solved that center back situation, three center back situation, I think for me I would say Maguire is the center back, Matthias Delete right center back. I think I will use, in my opinion, I think Lenny Yoro as the left center back. And some games I might try Eden Evan, really. But I want Eden Evan. I believe Eden Evan has the talent, but I think he just needs to be matured. He needs to not take stupid risk in those situations. And I feel that will be. So the wing back situation, I'm particularly pleased with the wing back situation. Yeah, I know Mazaraoui is not up to fitness. And I know Dalot gave us one good performance against Burnley before the injury. Dogu has been there. Yes, I think on the defensive aspects, you cannot fault him there. I know the attacking aspects. I think he had an assist against Chelsea. I feel he can do better in the final third. I watched a video of somebody analyzing Dogu and saying the likes of Dimarsio, Alonso. I get that, but this guy can reach that level. I know Dogu is not at the level you want him to be right now in terms of his attacking output, in terms of being a threat in the opposition final third. Sometimes I believe he stays too wide when he should shift G and tend towards centrally. I feel he's just more coaching, but I feel the physicality is there, and that guy to me is a player that really is made for this system. And when we bought him, analyzed it, and you guys can see the guy looks like, you know, a round peg in a round hole. You know, this guy is just is fitted. Yeah, and I feel coaching needs to come and play. In terms of sometimes shift your gear, bending, you know, have the confidence to bend in, and also understand the variations in passing. Yes, I know people have analyzed that also variation in passing, and also his teammates should also help him by creating many options for him so that he doesn't just have one option and does. But I feel he's a young guy, and I feel he definitely will improve. He definitely will improve. Diego Leon should keep training and getting to the level of the Premier League. And I think the right wing back, funny enough, Ahmad really has played better as a right wing back this season than, you know, a number 10. Even though I know the times he played number 10, he has played number 10 three times for us this season. Once against Grimsby, once against Manchester City, and one against Chelsea. But I felt it was on the left-hand side of the left-hand side number 10. And some people might say, maybe why didn't he have the opportunity? Even though against Chelsea, at some point he was on the right side of the number 10. But I feel his best performance this season for us, I think we'll see Burnley. I think Burnley was fantastic. It was fantastic at Burnley. And from that right wing back, he caused a penalty that led to us getting that last penalty where we scored and won that game. But for me, I feel Amad Diallo, when you say Amad Diallo playing right wing back, I feel for most part of the game, he picks up position, especially when we are on the ball, he picks up positions of, you know, he picks up positions of a right winger. When you look at when we're on the ball, you will not really know if it's a novice that's coming to watch the game, you won't really know that Amad Diallo is our right wing back, or we are using a right wing back in Amad Diallo, because the positions he picks in are the positions of a right winger. And I feel he's more comfortable there, even though I know that, yes, the relationship between him and Mbeumo needs to improve. But I feel that automatism, it will get better, you know, as the more they play and the more they understand themselves. But for me, I feel I'm comfortable with that right wing back position. I'm comfortable with Mazaraoui there. I feel Mazaraoui still has more to give us in that position. I want Mazaraoui to give us what I saw him give in Ajax, really. And I feel he can do that. So I feel he can do that. I think if Dalot is also available, maybe Mazaraoui could help in defense, and Dalot also can give us. So I'm fairly okay with that area for now. So I don't really think The wing backs for me, I feel I'm okay. I just want them to improve on their decision making in the final third. The midfield, I feel the best pairing for Man United this season in our midfield, sadly for me, is Bruno Casemiro, because I've been one advocate of Casemiro leaving the club. And but funny enough, in the land of the blind, one eye man is king, and I feel in the absence of a midfielder, you have to make use of Casemiro. No disrespect to Casemiro. Fantastic player, 5 Champions League winner. I think amazing midfielder. But I think that's our best pairing, because Kobe Mino, I know we've had a lot of discussion about Kobe Mino, and maybe I've not said anything about Kobe Mino really. But for me, I think what I've been saying off air is the fact that Kobe Mino needs to work on his position in a two-man midfield. Funny enough, I saw it, and then when Amorim mentioned it, I was like, I think I saw it, and that was against Grimsby, where I know Kobe is used to, and he was trained on a three-man midfield. And you cannot blame him for that. That's an amazing, talented footballer. Amazingly talented footballer. But sometimes you need to understand, when you're playing a two-man midfield, sometimes he needs to be central. I saw that against Grimsby, for example, where he would pass the ball and it would remain sideways. And then you would hear Amorim, or you would hear somebody shouting from the touchline, Kobe, center. So I think that, because when he was playing in a double pivot, or double pivot, single pivot, and in a three-man midfield, he had the flexibility to go to the sides. But the fact is that those sides have been covered by the wing backs, right? There are wing backs there. There's one of the number 10s that will operate there. The two number 10s will operate in the wings. The wing backs will operate in that area. So your focus is to central, right? I feel that's one of the things he needs to improve upon. And secondly is acceleration. Yeah, he's an amazing talent. I do not want to see him leave Manchester United, because I feel he's a well-trained boy. Even when the saga of him wanting to play respectfully, I think the situation up to now has been handled with respect, with professionalism. And I feel along the season, he will get his time. And I feel sometimes Amorim should try him as one of the number 10s. I feel he has the ability to play one of the number 10s. I really believe that he's someone that is a tactically disciplined boy. He's someone that also can score goals. We've seen Kobe Mino score goals. And I feel I don't want him to lose that part of his game. So sometimes I'm like, it's not necessarily going to be competing against Bruno Fernandes, because when you say that as a manager, you are trying to just tell us that maybe he might not play much. But I feel he can play as one of the number 10s. And I feel he can score goals for us there. He can have those amazing moments, and he can do something. And I feel that would be nice to see Kobe Mino. But I feel his acceleration. I know under Erik ten Hag, we had a problem about too much acceleration, and we wanted a player that could calm it down, right? But funny enough, in the place we are right now, the stage we are currently, in this team now, with how we want to win games and everything, I feel sadly for Kobe Mino, we need acceleration in our play. Sadly for the likes of Joshua Zirkzee, we need acceleration, we need speed, we need intensity. That's what we need currently. And so players like Kobe Mino, Joshua Zirkzee are going to be at the receiving end, because we are not where we want to be. And sadly so, because Joshua Zirkzee, for example, can play one of the number 10s, But the fact is that we have a lot of deficiencies, and we need some kind of specific traits from the number 10s. And these players, because of those guys, are players that, I have said it before, that Joshua Zirkzee is the icing on the cake. When you see Joshua Zirkzee play, you know that Joshua Zirkzee is not built for a struggling side like United. He will really shine in a much more composed. I've said it that the similarity to the likes of Dimitri Berbatov, in my own eye, is majorly meant for, more polished side, more refined side. And I think the same thing can be said of Kobe Mino. Kobe Mino is, when you look at Kobe Mino's game, it's a midfielder that is designed for a well-structured and balanced team, because ability to calm the ball down, hold the ball for long, marood, pass. That is nice. That's special. But the fact is, this United team is a dysfunctional team at the moment. What we need is just collect them. Let's push through our challenges first before we start thinking about, having that calm, collected, poised, finessed kind of football. And I feel these are the reasons why these guys are really struggling. That I mentioned, that's Zirkzee and Kobe Mino at the moment, in my own opinion. So guys, Bruno Fernandes is Bruno Fernandes. I don't want to talk about Bruno Fernandes again. I feel for me, you might disagree. It's my own opinion. I feel Bruno Fernandes is at the right position at the right time for Man United. If I was the manager, that's where I would use him. I can go to the analysis of that in the fact of I feel you want all your attacking players to be in front of Bruno Fernandes. The register kind of player, you guys be in front. Let me spin it to you. Like, let me be the conductor. You guys just go forward. Let me just, pass it to you. Let me push forward. When I push forward, there's a triangle in defensive transition of the likes of Casemiro. And then the three defenders, the likes of Euro, Maguire, and Delete. And so that's that defensive transition and shape. And then Bruno goes, the wing back is here, the number 10 is, the two inside forwards are moving, everybody's going here, and he's just there, having the ball and controlling the attack, and sometimes even pushing forward to have a shot, depending on how the opponent is set up. I feel for me, I like that, and I might be wrong in the future, but it's what I've envisioned for Bruno Fernandes as a player, really. But I know, yes, we can have that disagreement about Bruno Fernandes. The two number 10s, really, funny enough, when I say the two number 10s, sometimes I feel let me say the three number 10s. Even though I know we have a lot of players that can play that number 10 position, but for me, I feel Mason Mount is amazing. I don't know how to tell people, and not just in Amorim's system. I feel Mason Mount has always been amazing, even in Ten Hag's system. I feel, I know, yes, people might say, why are you praising the guy too much? But funny enough, it's what I see. The guy makes us much more aggressive, makes us much more, the intensity of our game to be much more there. Mason Mount is the workhorse, and I really like that about him. My prayer is he just stays fit. We just need that guy fit, at least for a whole season. Let's even see. And that guy, I know, yes, his capacities in scoring is there, but he's a player that every manager would want, really. And I saw him under Ten Hag. The few times he played, I was like, I can see this guy improves us. I'm still seeing him under Ruben Amorim, and I'm saying, this guy improves us. He improves us. And for me, I really believe he stays fit. And Matheus Cunha is fantastic in terms of the ability to push us forward in attack, the ability to... And sometimes when I hear people say, Cunha is coming too deep. Yes, it's coming too deep. It's coming too deep. But also, in that number 10 situation, I feel, and this is my suggestion to Amorim, I feel we need to have a talk about the choice of the two number 10s, because I feel sometimes, because of the deficiencies in our midfield currently, in terms of overloaded or no overloaded, as we usually discuss, I feel I would want to suggest that instead of using Cunha and Mbeumo, right? I feel let's have one of the, especially for big matches. Funny enough, Premier League is difficult. Every match is difficult. But I'm looking at it that it is a show whereby instead of using Cunha and Mbeumo, two inside forwards, why don't we tweak this from the profile a little bit to help our midfield, where we use an attacking midfielder or someone that has the ability, like intensity, like, and I know we've done it this season and it worked. That's why I'm suggesting it. Someone like Mason Mount to be one of the number 10s, because that intensity of, I know Cunha can do it, but I want someone that is also very good on defensive to help. And that's why you see that we are more robust, as Amorim said, which I also believe we are more robust when Mason Mount is in our team. I feel we because for the defensive aspect of things, really, I feel we need to maybe have one midfielder and one inside forward, maybe Brian Mbeumo, and maybe we can also use, as we've used some matches this season, where we use Cunha as the first 9, and Sesko we will come to Sesko when it's time. So I just feel because of the defensive aspect of things, especially maybe big matches, we can adopt this so that we can have. You might say, why don't you use the 4-3-3? That's a different discussion entirely. But let me know, that's not what I'm talking about. But I just feel that we improve us a little bit when, especially big matches, And funny enough, every team in the Premier League is a big match, really. But I think it will really help us, and also because we need intensity in our midfield to make that midfield successful. And the likes of Mason Mount helps us. And I feel sometimes, but let's try Kubmino there. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. It could be amazing, really. Because we need. I know Kumano, yes, the speed is not there, but let's try. But I feel Messi Mount we are positive. So striker position for me, I don't want to put pressure on Benjamin Sesko, and I've said it's a fantastic boy. I like the action against Chelsea to Brian Bemo. I like that, and I saw some things. I was like, this is nice. But for me, the pressure should not be on Benjamin Sesko. I feel let him. The pressure should not be there. I know people, football fans and banter 005, 006. It doesn't really matter to us, really. But I feel let's be patient with him. I feel that the goals will come naturally. I feel the striker will start to score when every other part is working well. Because I feel sometimes our choices in the final third is not good enough. Sometimes we don't take the right decisions. Sometimes also we don't create options. Sometimes, and as happened against Manchester City, we isolated him. That's Benjamin Sesko. And I saw that even when Dogu had some very good chances, the only person in front was Sesko. Sometimes other teammates need to create situations. And that's why and this has been a major problem of Man United for years. Since after Rene Mollison left Man United with Sir Alex Ferguson, then I've now seen a Man United attack that really understands what they're doing in the final third. Maybe we need to get an attacking coach, a very good one, very, very good one. Someone that is very good in attacking dynamics, because we can't be this clueless in the attack. And I feel sometimes it was selfishness, but most parts it was cluelessness. We didn't know what to do. And the teams that win the league, the teams that scored goals or high number of goals in the Premier League, they have a routine of, when I get here, I know you should be here, and I can do a cutback or I can do a cross. Let's have a routine. And up till now, we've had managers, Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho. Really, it's just like when we get there, we sort it out. And for me, I'm like, no, don't sort it out. Have some practice. Let them even know. See the last season under Sir Alex Ferguson, the routines, even last 2 seasons under Sir Alex Ferguson, the routines of Valencia and Rooney, the routines of Nani and Rooney, you could see that these guys were not coming to see how it goes. Even though, yes, sometimes you see how it go. But most parts, these guys trained those movements under Rene Mollison. They trained this movement. They knew where one person was going to be. They knew how to deliver the ball to. And I feel, in as much as I know you are training about shooting and everything, but I feel we need to improve our trainings on attacking dynamics. And if we don't have anybody in-house that can improve us in attacking dynamics, I think we should go and sign an attacking coach. Someone that will actually train these boys to have real dynamics in and out to attack, cutback, crossings, movement in and out of the box. Sometimes we are too deep, sometimes we are too outside. Let's have the right coordination so that we can score goals. And I think if we have that, naturally, when we have that, the likes of Benjamin Sesko will score. Because Benjamin Sesko, when he sees, for example, Ahmad coming, he knows whether to push into the box 6 or to push back. And you can see that under the likes of Rafael, those days, we need to have that dynamics come back to our team, really. And I feel it will be good. It will be good for us. So, Ruben Amorim, finally, I think Zexi, I've talked about Zexi as a striker. I feel this moment is a tricky moment for United. And so players like the finesse players like Zexi will get their minutes as the season goes on. When we are much more stable. For now, we are not stable, man. For now, we're not stable. We're not stable. Okay. Amorim, I feel... first of all, I want to praise him for sticking to his system. Whether you agree with the system or not, I think he clearly believes in something. And I feel in this United that we are in currently, in the state that United is in currently, we need people that believe in something. Whether it works or not is another question, but we need someone that believes. And United is a very, very tough place, And you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you want to do. I know, yes, in as much as you want to believe in what you want to do, also you should be also open to make some tweaks. I'm not against that, really. Tweaks that you can make that can still make you keep your identity, make you keep your philosophy, make you keep your style of play. I'm really for it. And so, but I believe that desire to stick, because it's not easy. We've seen many managers come into this team, and after a little bit of pressure, they try to adapt. They try to do, But I feel sometimes, and I want to remember what one of the phrases Ruben Amorim said when he came. He says, if he gets sacked, that the sun will still shine. And there was a popular phrase like that. He's someone that always have this kind of nice quote, but the sun will still shine and everything. I'm like, truly, truly, truly. I think I want to praise him for that. But I think he has to improve on some things also, because we always say the way it is. I feel he needs to improve upon the substitutions. And this is from last season, and even this season I'm seeing it. A lot of the substitutions are reactive substitutions; they're not proactive. Sometimes the substitutions come too late. He needs to work on that. I feel a manager needs to, don't be scared. You already have the boldness to stick to your system, right? To stick to your formation. Also have the boldness to be forceful. And I felt, especially against last match, I was not happy with him. You guys watched the video. I was furious because I felt that he needs to have more, needs to have much coolness, right? Much liver, as we usually say, to push. I know, yes, it's a tough period for United. We need a win. And sometimes the confidence of the manager also might reduce in terms of taking risk and everything. But for fact is, in substitutions, you are taking a risk. So I think he just take the best kind of risk, because the substitutions he made were a risk. Every substitution is a risk for a manager. Football is a game of risk. So if you're going to take risk, at least take a risk that has the highest potential of pushing you forward and scoring more. I felt in that Chelsea match, for example, if we had scored the third goal, I felt the momentum of Chelsea would have gone quicker, and we didn't have to suffer the way we suffered in the last 10-15 minutes in that Chelsea match. If players didn't have to suffer that way, and clearly the fans didn't have to suffer that way, we've been through a lot. We can't keep suffering like that. And I felt being proactive in terms of the kind of substitutions you do at the right time can also give us the edge. And I think we need to. So guys, these are my opinions on 5 games in Manchester United, having played the likes of Arsenal, Fulham, Burnley, Manchester City, and Chelsea. So I analyzed, as you guys can see, the goalkeeper, the defender, the wing backs, the midfield, the attackers, and the number 10s and the attackers. So guys, and then the manager. So guys, let me have your opinions really on what I've said. If there's anything I've said that you don't believe in, or you disagree, we are always here. Drop it in the comment section. Let's have that discussion. Let's learn together. And guys, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to share. Until you see you next time. Bye.